Welcome to Whole Bible Study with your host, Tad Enoch. Today we continue our reading through the book of Enoch, specifically chapters 19 through 36. Now, before we move into the details of the text, I want to begin by naming something that most people feel almost immediately when they encounter this section. It feels strange. That strangeness is important, but not because there is something wrong with the text. Part of the reason that this feels strange is because it's ancient. It comes from a world with a very different understanding of the cosmos, morality, and the unseen. It's written in symbolic language, and it has passed through translation, which always introduces limits. But there's another reason it feels strange that we don't talk about. Anytime one person tries to communicate an intense experience to another person, there is a natural sense of distance or otherness. Even today, when someone tries to describe a powerful dream, a traumatic moment, or a life-altering experience, something always gets lost. Language can point, but it cannot truly fully reproduce the experience itself. That gap is not a failure of the speaker, and it's not a failure of language. It's simply a limit of human communication. So when we read Enoch, we're not just dealing with an ancient text. We are listening to one person trying to describe an experience that overwhelmed his ordinary categories of understanding, using the best language available to him at the time. Some level of strangeness is not only expected, it's unavoidable. And because of that, we need to be very clear about the question we're asking in this study. We are not asking what Enoch proved. We are not asking whether his vision gives us a literal map of the universe. And we are not assuming that Enoch himself fully understood the meaning of what he experienced. Instead, we are asking a more careful question. What did Enoch experience? What did he seem to think it might mean? And what does that way of seeing reality offer us today? That framing matters because it keeps experience primary and interpretation secondary. It allows room for ambiguity without dismissing the text as meaningless or reducing it to fantasy. As we move through the chapters 19 through 36, one pattern becomes very clear very quickly. Enoch is not acting independently. He is not wandering. He is not exploring on his own initiative. Again and again, the text emphasizes that he is being shown things. In chapter 19, after describing beings who have transgressed their appointed order, Enoch says, quote, "And I, Enoch, alone saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man shall see as I have seen," unquote. The text immediately frames this as visionary experience, not ordinary observation. In chapter 21, Enoch says, quote, "And I went round till I came to another place, and I saw therein a terrible thing. I saw neither a heaven above, nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible," unquote. He does not explain why this place exists. He simply reports what he sees. He continues, quote, "And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven bound together in it, like great mountains and burning with fire," unquote. At that point, Enoch does not interpret his own. He asks, quote, "For what sin are they bound? And on what account have they been cast in hither?" unquote. And the answer comes from Enoch's reasoning, but from one of his guides. Again and again, the pattern is the same. Enoch observes, Enoch asks, someone else explains. That same structure appears clearly in chapter 22, as Enoch says, "And I want," quote, "and from thence I went to another place, and he showed me in the west a great and high mountain of hard rock. Inside the mountain, he sees something strange. quote, "And there I saw a deep and dark ravine, and there were 4 hollow places in it, deep and wide and very smooth," unquote. Enoch notices that these hollow places are separated, and he asks, quote, "Why is one separated from the other?" unquote. And the answer he receives is about purpose, not mechanics. Quote, "These hollow places have been created that the spirits of the souls of the dead should assemble therein, and thus they are separated." This tells us something important about how reality is being imagined. Space is not neutral. Places exist for reasons. Separation itself carries meaning. As Enoch continues his journey, he is repeatedly shown boundaries, the ends of the earth, places where forces originate, regions of restraint and containment. In chapter 33, he says, quote, and from thence I went to the ends of the earth and saw their great rivers and the great darkness, unquote. In chapter 34, he says, quote, and from thence I went to another place and I saw a mountain of fire, unquote. These descriptions are not meant to satisfy curiosity about geography. They communicate that reality has limits, divisions, and structure. Chaos exists, but it is bounded. Disorder is acknowledged, but it is not ultimate. At this point, something important needs to be said about how knowledge works in the text. In this ancient literature, how knowledge is received is just as important as what is revealed. In modern terms, this relates to how human beings actually come to know and trust information. Psychology and cognitive science tells us that our deepest beliefs are not formed primarily through abstract reasoning. They are shaped through relational transmission, through parents, teachers, elders, and trusted authorities. Long before we can analyze ideas logically, we absorb frameworks for understanding reality. The pattern does not disappear in adulthood. Even today, most of what we know comes through mediation. We trust experts, witnesses, and guides when the subject matter exceeds our direct experience. Ancient cultures understood this intuitively. When it came to question of justice, order, suffering, and ultimate meaning, knowledge was assumed to be something that had to be received, not generated from within the individual. Enoch's vision reflects this human pattern exactly. He is not reasoning his way into meaning, he is being shown. The guides function as mediators, not because Enoch is passive, but because the experience exceeds ordinary human capacity. They provide orientation, not total clarity. This also helps explain why metaphor and symbolic language dominate the text. Language cannot fully capture overwhelming experiences. Metaphor is not declaration here. It is necessity. When Enoch speaks of mountains, ravines, fire, darkness, and boundaries, he is using the strongest symbolic language available to express ideas about order, consequence, and limitation. That imprecision is not a flaw. It is a signal. It tells us the text is not trying to eliminate mystery, but to orient us within it. So what might Enoch himself have thought this experience meant? The text never states it directly, but the structure of the vision suggests several things. It suggests that reality is not morally neutral. It suggests that chaos is not ultimate. It suggests that human beings are not the center of the universe. And it suggests that understanding requires humility. Those ideas are not forced conclusions. They are invitations. And that brings us to the most important question. Why preserve a text like this at all? The answer may be that it offers something many explanations cannot. It offers orientation. It reassures readers that chaos has limits. that injustice is not ignored, and that reality is not collapsing into randomness. Even when life feels unstable, at the same time, it does not promise a simple resolution. It does not erase tension. It teaches us how to live with it. We've listened carefully to Enoch's account of his journey. We've slowed down to notice how the experience unfolds, how knowledge is mediated, how reality is structured, and how meaning is communicated through symbol, boundary, and guidance. Rather than rushing to certainty, we've tried to stay honest about what the text gives us and what it leaves unresolved. Instead of asking whether we should believe every detail literally, we ask a more careful question. What might this experience be communicating, and what does it still offer to us today? What we found is that Enoch's vision presents a world that is ordered but not simple, meaningful but not fully explained, and morally structured without pretending that everything is resolved. It places human beings within a larger reality rather than in the center of it, and it invites humility rather than control. That posture feels especially important in a time when certainty is often overstated and mystery is quickly dismissed. This text does not eliminate tension. It teaches us how to live within it. Before we close, I want to pause for just a brief moment of reflection. If you're willing to take a breath and simply notice where you are right now, whatever questions you're carrying, whatever doubts or convictions you might bring with you, let them be present without needing to resolve them. Studies like this are not about arriving at final answers. They're about learning about how to ask better questions, how to listen more carefully, and how to remain open to meaning that unfolds over time. I'm genuinely grateful that you took the time to explore this text with me. Don't come to these studies as I don't come to these studies as someone who has it all figured out. I'm learning as I go, questioning as I go, and I'm trying to be as honest as I can about what we know and what we don't, and what still feels worth pursuing. If this study was meaningful to you, I invite you to share it with somebody else who might find value in it, or leave a note with your own thoughts and questions. These conversations are always richer when they're shared. Thank you for supporting Whole Bible Study and the work of Mustard Seed Ministries. Your support makes it possible to continue producing these studies and offering them freely. And as always, we'll see you in the next chapter soon.